So this news kind of bummed me out because I've seen Nintendo do this before.
Mm.
Um, so I'm gonna read this tweet from the Big House.
Who is the big house?
uh, as far as I know, they're a tournament organizer. So the Big House is heartbroken to share we've received a cease and desist from Nintendo of America to cancel our upcoming online event. We were informed we do not have permission to host or broadcast the event, primarily due to the usage of Slippy. Sadly, all of our competitions are affected. We are forced to comply with the order and cancel the Big House online for both Melee and Ultimate. Refund information will be sent shortly. We apologize to all those impacted. So, yeah. So what does this mean? Well, Slippy is like a third party way to play games. It's like a third party netcode. And so since Melee is such an old ass game, they have to run it through an emulator. So they run it through this Slippy. I might be butchering this. I've never used Slippy, but this is my initial understanding of it.
Yes.
And Ultimate's netcode is not. They don't like it, so they use Slippy for that as well. So, yeah, I mean, Nintendo has to be Scrooge McDuck here and come in and be like, no, you're not allowed to run our game this way, so shut it all down. Don't have any fun. Don't advertise our games. Don't make people want to buy our games. We're just going to shut it down. And then we're going to make everyone pissed off at us who is part of our community. And that's what I see Nintendo doing. Maybe you have a different take on it.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think that Nintendo's protecting their IP, and it's an unspoken rule that users such as
Mm-hmm.
yourself and myself, that we're allowed to go ahead and use emulated software of games that we own.
Yep.
And that's okay. There's no like legal issues in that. Now, if you emulate without owning the software, that's a different conversation, one that I don't want to get into.
Yes. Yeah.
But companies like Nintendo, they don't care. They don't want emulated software to be used. It's play on their hardware with legitimate software,
Yes.
or no way at
Yeah.
all. And that's they're protecting their IP. I think the Big House. I could be wrong, but I did hear or see that initially when they were having Melee
Mm-hmm.
tournaments, that Nintendo actually did send like a concern. They were like, "Look, we're going to be sending you a cease and desist to stop that." Then this was before any of this pandemic situation.
Yeah.
And the only way that they allowed it was because they assured Nintendo that they were using Melee on
Mm-hmm.
GameCubes with CRT TVs. So and then Nintendo was cool with it.
Yes.
And they allowed it for whatever time being. So I mean, in that regard, Nintendo was cool with it. But when it came time to software emulation and using this third-party
Mm-hmm.
netcode, then Nintendo had an issue, and I
Yeah.
think it's fair.
Yeah. Um, Here's my answer to Nintendo. Fix your netcode. There. That's my answer. If these giant game corporations have shitty netcode and people find a way, but by the way, almost all these people own the game. Almost everyone owns the game. You're not going to find a competitive Smash player who doesn't own the game at home. It's just not going to happen. How do you think
Yeah,
they
but it's also not
practice?
going to happen that they have a way of authenticating that for people that are emulating it.
Yeah, I know, but that's none of their business, in my opinion. They don't have to authenticate everyone's um, library.
I mean, that's why you have things like DRM.
Yeah, and DRM sucks ass. Yeah,
I'm just saying this is a way of companies protecting their
I
properties.
know, I know.
It's not the best,
Yeah,
and hopefully in the future we'll have better solutions to this kind of
yeah,
situation. But for the time being, this is how they're able to protect their
I know,
IPs.
I know. Um, it's also a pandemic right now, so people can't go to physical locations and have tournaments. So you think that they would take that in consideration as well, but it looks like they're not. So